All right. Welcome, everyone, to the next game in the 1990 Cincinnati replay. This thing is still a little tilted on me, so I've got to figure out why it's doing that. For some reason, this webcam has to be positioned differently for Stratomatic games than for History Maker games, so thought I had it set up originally, but now it looks like it gave me trouble. So let's see. I think that will be a little bit better now. Hello, Forrest. Good to see you. I think we're better off now in this situation. Looks like everything is showing up okay. The lighting looks to be okay, at least on my laptop. Hello, Kenyon. Good to see you. Look at it on my phone and see how it's looking on my phone, because that's kind of how I judge things, to see what you guys are seeing. And thing is fairly decent, so hooray for that. All right. We are at the first of the long road trip coming up for Cincinnati. They have 2 in New York, 4 in St. Louis, and 2 in Pittsburgh before they come home to face the Cubs. So long road trip, but that's part of baseball. You get these long road trips. What are you going to do? All right. So before we get going, I did promise that at the end of the month, I would give a statistical update on how they're doing. First of all, we'll look at the upcoming schedule. I already have the line scores printed out. I just need to cut them out and put them here. But we are at May 2nd. Tomorrow, May 3rd, is the second and final game of the Mets series. And then we move on up to 4 consecutive games in St. Louis on the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. There is a travel day or an off day on the 8th. And on the 9th, they play a quick 2-game series in Pittsburgh. And then they come home for 3 with the Cubs. I only print out the first 2. It's all I had room for on this page. But that's what's upcoming for the Reds. Now, let's look at the statistics, and then we'll get into the game day charts and everything else. But these are the up-to-date stats. And if you want to pause it or whatever, you're free to do so and review them however you want to look at them. Mariano Duncan's hitting .390. He is leading the team in hitting. League leader the team leader in home runs is Eric Davis. Even though he's out injured right now, he's got 3 home runs, so he leads the team in that. But a lot of guys hitting over 300. In fact, most of the regulars, except for Joe Oliver and Billy Hatcher, the rest of them are hitting over 300. Hatcher's hitting 294, but Joe Oliver's struggling at 171. And of course, these are guys that have not got to the team yet, but they will be eventually. On the pitching side of the house, I can see I've used Dibble 10 games and 16 innings already, so I'll probably have to slow down his usage just a little bit. Kip Gross is added to the team with the Eric Davis injury, so we'll be starting to use Kip Gross a little bit. And he is not carded by Stratomatic because he had such few at bats, but there's his card. He's semi-workman flash with semi-control, and he is a prospect. So we'll find some innings for Kip Gross to eat up, because I don't want to wear out Dibble here in April and May and not have him for the stretch run. Tom Browning has had the most starts. He will be making his 6th start today. He's 2-0 with a .554 earned run average, 26 innings pitched, 32 hits, 12 walks, and 18 strikeouts. So he will get the nod to start today for the Reds. Other notables: Jose Rijo is 3-0 with a 1.29 earned run average. Danny Jackson's injured. He's 1-0 with a 1.29. Burtsis in relief, surprisingly, is 2-0 with a 1.13 earned run average. Of course, Randy Meyer has been just about perfect. 1-0 with 5 saves in 8 games, 7 2/3 innings, just 2 hits and no runs. I mean, he did walk 7, but he's still pitching very well. Now, Leana, a different story, 8.59 earned run average for Tim Leana. But you got to use these guys. You can't just bench them. You got to use them to get their usage close to what it was in real world. Also, another pitcher who's struggling is Norm Charlton, a 4.66 earned run average at the moment, 0-1 in 7 innings with a 9 2/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 5 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Rick Mailer doing surprisingly well, 1-0 in 3 starts with a 2.12 earned run average, 17 innings pitched, 21 hits, 2 walks, and 15 strikeouts. Second game of the series will feature Sid Fernandez for the Mets against Jack Armstrong for the Reds. Armstrong pitching well, 1.93 earned run average, but he's got a 1-2 record, not getting a whole lot of run support, but he's doing well. So that's coming up. That's a quick 2-game series here at Shea Stadium before they go on to Busch Stadium and have a long 4-game series with the Cardinals. Hello, Mr. RJL and Mr. Chuck. Good to see both of you. Now that's out of the way, we can get to the game day checks. The Reds have won 2 in a row. So as we go to the game day check to see if they're going to be harmonious, semi-harmonious, dissonant, whatever, we will roll a 1 or a 2, and they will be fully harmonious and be on the sunny side of the chart. 3 or higher, they need to decide or die to figure that out. That's a 1, so they're going to be fully harmonious, and they will be on the sunny side of the chart. So full harmony for the Reds. And we go to the sunny side of the chart, and we get a 6. And a 6 on the sunny side of the chart. Let's see here. I believe a 6 is nothing but an injury, even on the sunny side of the chart, or is it on the delta ratings? Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to go to that's delta ratings. So we're going to go to the injury because 6 is game day injuries. Even on the sunny side of the chart is possible for game day injuries. Got the lineups already set up as played, but this is going to change if the injuries come up. Hello, Doug. Good to see you. We get a 2, and that is starting pitcher or outfielder. Decide or die. If it's a dot, it's a starting pitcher. If it's a blank, it's an outfielder. It's a starting pitcher. So Tom Browning's in jeopardy of not starting this game, which could really throw a monkey wrench into things. But you do what you got to do. So let's see. Pitcher out for how long? That's a 2. He's going to miss this game. So Tom Browning is going to miss his start. He warmed up in the bullpen, felt something, didn't like what he felt, and so he is going to have to miss this ball game, and the Reds will have to have a bullpen day. They will have a bullpen day. So they're going to start with Charlton, and then I'm sure we'll use, like I said, a lot of the bullpen because Browning is going to have to miss the game. So that's going to be interesting. So let me get my little thing here. So they're harmonious, but they lose their starting pitcher Browning due to injury. Charlton is a semi-prospect and stoic on his ratings. I'm not scoring this game on the computer as I'm playing it today like I usually do because I had the stats already in front of me printed out, so I don't need the computer to read them off. So that way it makes it nice and easy when I go to input the stats. I can just put Charlton in as a starter right away, and we will be okay. So interesting thing there to have the injury come up right away, and Charlton will be the starting pitcher for the Reds due to injury to Tom Browning. Just the way it goes, folks. That's the way the game plays. That's why it's a game, not a replay. It's a game. Although it's the statistical accuracy of the game is, very comparable. It's not Stratomatic, but it's not bad. The ratings are pretty good. So some of them are a little off, but some of them are pretty good. But it's a fun game. That's why you play the game, because it's fun. So Charlton has to be raced into, he's going to have, at least the Reds are batting first, so Charlton has to come up. But he will have to do some warm-ups to get things going. Look at the home plate umpires for today's game. The big guy, John McSherry, is behind the plate. Ed Montague's at first. Bob Davidson's at second. Williams is at third. So let's look at the starting lineup for the Reds. It'll be Chris Sabo leading off. Mario Duncan at second. Let's bring it over here so you can see it. Sabo, Duncan, Larkin, Benziger, Hatcher, O'Neill, Rooms, Oliver, and now Charlton will be in his place. And for the Mets, it'll be Mark Carrion leading off in center field. Tuffle at second, Johnson at third, Strawberry in right, McReynolds in left, Mike Marshall at first, Barry Lyons the catcher, Elster at short, and Viola on the mound. And Viola is a semi-ace, semi-flash with control. So Davey Johnson and Lou Piniella matching wits here in this one from Shea. First, but like I said, only a 2-game series. And then they go to St. Louis for 4. So that's the way that's working. All right, so leading things off will be Chris Sabo. And Sabo on the replay is hitting .357. You can look at his numbers right here, .357 1 homer, 7 runs driven in, and 70 at bats for Chris Sabo. So Chris Sabo will lead it off. And we're underway. 1-3-6. Is he an ace? Yes. The sire die gives it to him. He's a semi-ace. The dot says he is. So that will be a strikeout. So Viola strikes out Sabo for 1 away. Oh, I forgot to give the hot and cold players. Let me do that real quick. Despite that strikeout, Sabo is the hot player. He had a great game in the last series against Philadelphia. Joe Oliver, the cold player. For the Mets, I went to their real-life game against Atlanta. Howard Johnson had 3 hits in that game. He is a hot player. Strawberry was 0 for 4 with 2 Ks, so he is the cold player for this game. All right, so Sabo out on strikes, out number 1. And here's Mariano Duncan. Duncan is hitting .390. No homers, 7 driven in. That's a 1-3-5. That's a rare play, or unusual play is what they call it. In the book is an unusual play. And this is the one time where the color of the dice make a difference. A red 1 and a black 3 relates to memorable plays in the field. A red 1 and a black 3. That's what we have here. So let's see what happens. A 1-2. 1-2 says first baseman gold. No, Mike Marshall's actually semi-iron. If it was gold, he'd make a spectacular play robbing a batter of a base hit. Otherwise, it'll be a single. So Duncan singles past Mr. Marshall. And he's on with a 1-out single. Since he was not a gold. If that had been Keith Hernandez, that probably would have held, stopped the run, stopped the base hit. But it wasn't. It was Tuffle. And I believe in 1990, Keith Hernandez is with the Indians. So don't quote me on it, but I think that's where he is. So the Mets searching for a first baseman. All right, so with Duncan at first, that brings up Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin is hitting .324, no homers and 9 driven in. That's a 4.45. So we'll go back to our original chart. I believe that's a flash check, but I will double check that. 4.45. No, it's asking if he's a workman. Viola is not a workman. Is the batter patient? Larkin semi-eager. He's going to ground it to first base, but on a lead I-4, the runner on first will get second base. So it's going to be first unassisted by Marshall, but Duncan will take second base. So 2 outs, runner in scoring position, clutch situation, as they say. And here is Todd Benzinger. Benzinger is hitting .333, 23 out of 69, 2 homers and 12 driven in. That's a 2.55, and that's asking, is Viola a star? No, he's a semi-ace. He's not a star. Is the batter a home run king? No, he's a semi-scrapper. So he will fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. And Viola shuts out the Reds in the first. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is Cincinnati nothing, and the Mets coming to bat. And they thought they were going to face Browning, but they're actually getting Norm Charlton because Browning was injured in the game day checks. So Browning will just miss a start, that's all. Charlton on the season, and he did start some games, so I mean, it's not out of the ordinary that he couldn't start. They could go to Ron Robinson, I guess, but they're going to stick with Charlton. So Charlton 0-1 with a 4.66 ERA, 9 2/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. Maybe they're thinking that Charlton in a starting role might kickstart his relief roles. Maybe that'll help his relief outing if he comes in as a starter, albeit not a scheduled starter. But again, that's what the game day checks are for. All right, so leading off will be Mark Carey on my wayward son. We'll see if there'll be peace when he's done or not. But he's going to lead off in center field, giving Darrell Boston, who's the left-handed complement of the center field, he's platooning against the lefty. So carry on it is. And it's going to be a 3.55. And on a 3.55, struggler or gilded? No, he's not that. Is he a champion? No, he's not a champion. So he's going to ground to second unless he's a whiffer. He is not a whiffer. So he will just ground to second base, and Mariano Duncan will take care of it for out number 1. The Met cards stick a little bit more because they haven't used them, so they're not broken in yet. So a little bit troubles to get those. Tim Tuffle, second baseman. 1, 2, 3, flash and fresh. Yes, he has the flash quality. When the first inning he is fresh, so it will be a strikeout. And that is out number 2. And that brings up Hojo, switch hitting third baseman. That's a 2-5-6. The pitcher is not a struggler. Is he champion or patient? He's neither one. So we got infield drama for the Reds, and Duncan is semi-iron. Everybody else neutral. And now all are neutral. 2-5. Second baseman iron. No, he's not, because the decider die says he wasn't. So it will not be an error. It will not get through for a single. It'll be a ground out, and that'll end the inning. So the decider kind of saved Mariano Duncan's bacon on that one, and the Mets go in order 1, 2, 3. Good inning for Charlton. And we got no score after 1. So Billy Hatcher kind of down in the order, hitting in the 5th position, playing center field in this one against Viola. And Hatcher on the season hitting .294, 2 homers and 9 driven in. 1-1-2. Does the pitcher have flash? He's got semi-flash, but the dot says no. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he's not a sad sack. So it says check with score. So we're either going to have a hit or an error. So we go to the mini chart, check with score, micro chart score. Right here, micro chart score. 1, 2, or 3 is a base hit. 4, 5, or 6 will be an error on somebody. That's a 1, so it's a base hit off the glove of the shortstop, Elster. And so Elster not quite able to get to it, and Hatcher will have himself a leadoff single. So leadoff single for Hatcher. And that'll send up Paul O'Neill, lefty on lefty matchup with Viola. 2-2-5, and before I get the result, let's get O'Neill's averages. O'Neill's hitting .306, 2 homers, 11 driven in, and that's a 2-2-5. 2-2-5 ask, is the pitcher a star? No, he's a semi-ace. Is a batter slugger or a sad sack? He's a semi-slugger, but the dot says no. So he's going to single to center, and Hatcher will take second. Lead die of 2, you just get the 1 base advancement. So first 2 are on here in the top of the second with nobody out, and Rolando Rooms, the batter. Rooms is hitting .333. He's 8 for 24, no homers and 2 driven in. 1-2-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No. It's a batter patient? No, he's eager. He will ground to third unless he's a whiffer. He is a whiffer. That's a bad break for Viola. Had he not been a whiffer, it would have been a double play ground ball, but instead it's just a strikeout. So you only get 1 out instead of the 2, but that's just the breaks you get there. So 1 out, and that'll bring up catcher Joe Oliver. He is struggling. 171 average and 41 at bats. No homers and 5 driven in. 2-3-4, runners on base, plate drama. You better believe it. Barry Lyons is an iron catcher, so that could come into play. It's a 6-6. 6-6 on plate drama. Control pitcher. He is a control pitcher. So it's in the strike zone for a strike. It will not be a pass ball. It's a strike, and we're going to the umpire chart with runners at first and second. So the fact that he had control saves a wild pitch. So we're going to the runners on first and second umpire chart. And we'll see which umpire is called upon. It's a 4-6. It says lenient umpired home. Well, John McSherry. Let's get John McSherry out here. John McSherry is semi-lenient. The dot says he's lenient. So he is lenient. So the answer to that question is yes. Claims ball misses corner for ball 4. So how about that? So it's a walk. He's lenient, so he allows the walk. Other umpires that weren't as lenient would have said it's 2 strike count. You're still in the batter's box. But the lenient John McSherry says, nope, it's outside ball 4. So now the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded for the pitcher, Norm Charlton. Infield is playing back for the double play. That's a 2-5-6. Is a pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. Let's see what else called on. Is the batter a champion or patient? Certainly not. We got infield drama for the Mets. And in their infield, Tuffle is iron. Marshall is semi-iron. Hojo is rated neutral. So now Marshall is iron also. So the whole right side of the infield is iron. 1-4, first baseman iron. Yes, he is. It's going to be a single to right field by the pitcher, Charlton. How about that? That's going to score the run. Hatcher will come in to score. With only one out on a lead die of one, you get one base advancement. Had there been two outs, the run on second would have scored also, but not when there's only one out. So run is advanced. And of course, I don't have a running marker for Charlton because I wasn't expecting Charlton to be in the game to bat. So don't have one for him. He's a relief pitcher. But he gets an RBI single because he snuck it by Marshall, who's not very good in the field. Bases are still loaded with one out. It's 1-0 Reds, and here comes Chris Sabo. Let me make sure there was no, there's nothing behind that. I don't think. Let me double check it here. 1-4. Oh, it's going to the chemistry chart. That was in purple, so good thing I checked. We are going to the chemistry chart, and the Reds are harmonious. Oh, I think I hit the webcam there by mistake. I might not even need this ring light. I think I can turn that off. It'd be better off if I do turn it off. Okay. Reds are harmonious, and the Mets are neutral. 5-6 pitching team, so it will be a strikeout. So he strikes out Sabo for the second time. It's also in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for the at-bat of Duncan. So Viola is semi-hot based on that strikeout. Duncan is semi-hot because he got a single last time up. So they're both semi-hot. Now they're both neutral. 5-6. Hot pitcher. No, he's not a hot pitcher. So he would have gotten alternate outs, but instead we have infield drama. So let me move this book. I just wanted to show those couple of things there. But we have infield drama on the Mets, which could be trouble again because you got a couple of not so good infielders. And that's a 5-6. And again, first baseman is iron. First baseman goal, no, it's going to be an error as the ball sails over his head, backed up by Lyons. It's a one-base advancement on the error, and we'll check and see who the error is on in a moment. But Oliver goes to third, Charlton goes to second, and Duncan will take first on the error. And we'll see if it's a 5 or a 6, the error is on the third baseman. If it's a 3 or 4, it's on the shortstop. If it's 1 or 2, it's going to be on second baseman. So that error is on Howard Johnson. So E5 on Hojo. O'Neill comes in to score. Oliver goes to third. Charlton goes to second. Base is still loaded with 2 outs. And let's see, was there anything on there as far as going to another chart? No, it's not. Going right to the regular chart now. Regular chart for the Barry Larkin at bat. 2 runs are in for the Reds. They lead at 2-0. Viola trying to get out of this mess. 2-5-6. Not a struggler. Is the batter champion or patient? No. We have infield drama again for the Mets. The fielding is killing the Mets. 1-4. First baseman iron. Yes, he is. The dots comes up again. It's going to get through for a base hit, and this time 2 runs will score because that lead die 1 gives you a 2-base advancement from second base. So Mike Marshall is just killing the Mets with his bad fielding. That's a single for Larkin. It's a 2-run single. These runs are all unearned off of Viola. Going to second is Duncan. But now the Reds lead it 4-0. And that'll send up the 9th man to bat in the inning, Todd Benzinger. 5-6-6. Is he wild? No. Is the batter a good eye? No. So we got a strikeout to end the inning. But a 4 spot. Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning for the Reds. Only 2 of them are earned because the last 2 came in after the error extended the inning. So 4-0 Cincinnati. We go to the bottom of the second. And it's time for the Mets if they want to do something to get it going. And they'll be facing Charlton with Strawberry, McReynolds, and Marshall. course, Marshall was the key culprit with his bad fielding. All those fielding checks went to first base. All right, 146. 146 for Charlton. Ask if he has flash. He does. It's a strikeout of Strawberry. So Strawberry with the whiff, one away, and that brings up Kevin McReynolds. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? Yes, it's a line out to second base. Duncan has it, 2 down. And that will send up Mr. Marshall with his semi-iron fielding, which really cost him. 3-5-5. Is he a champion? No, he's not a champion, so he will ground to second unless he's a whiffer. He happens to be a whiffer, so he'll strike out. So it's really been a bad day for Mike Marshall. And that's going to do it for the Mets, 3 up and 3 down. Fans at Shea are not happy. As RJL would say, stadium barfs or stadium groans, whatever the case may be. All right, let's see. I think it's still a little bit tilted here, so let's see if I can't fix this for you guys so you're not leaning over here, not the Leaning Tower of Pizza going on. All right, here's Billy Hatcher. He led off the second inning with a single that started this whole mess. 3-4-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is he eager? He's semi-eager, but the dot says no, so he's going to draw a walk because he's particularly bad. He was not eager, so he will walk. And that result is in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat of Paul O'Neill. And again, the Reds are harmonious. Mets are neutral. 1-4 on the chemistry chart. Batting team distance. No, they're not dissonant, so it's not going to be a dribbler to the pitcher. It's going to be a single. So Hatcher will get second base. O'Neill will take first. First 2 are on, just like last inning. And that'll bring up Orlando Rooms. (1-4-6). Does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. It's a semi-flash, and the dot's not there. Take it back. Champion, no. So it's a ground out to second. That actually helps Viola because that's going to be a double play. And that lead die at 1. So that's a ground ball to second for a 4-6-3 double play. Going to third is Hatcher, but now there are 2 outs. So 2 down, and that's going to bring up Joe Oliver. First base is open, but Oliver's such a poor hitter, they're going to go ahead and pitch to him. 2-3-3. Ace or star, he is a semi-ace, which fits that category, plus the dot gave it to him anyway. So that's going to be a ground out to short and handled by the shortstop Elster to end the inning. And this time Viola gets out of the mess. Double play had a lot to do with it. So we go to the bottom of the third, still 4-0 favor of the Reds. And Barry Lyons, again, he was not carded. He had such few at-bats. So I'd make a card for him. Oh, 1-1s. That could be interesting. But is the pitcher an ace? He's a semi-ace. The dot says he is, so it's just a ground out to third. That would have been a home run otherwise. But since he got the dot to be the ace in that at-bat, he takes away the home run, and it's just a ground ball to third. Decided I definitely saved his bacon on that one. Here's Kevin Elster. 4-6-6. Does he have the control quality? He does not. Is a batter home run king or a slugger? He's a semi-slugger. Decided says he's a slugger, so he's going to strike out. As he was swinging for the fences and it didn't work. Here's Viola. 1-4-6. I believe that's a flash check, and it is. 1-4-6 is a flash check. He's got it. It's a strikeout, but there are goggles. And so if you look at the result on that 1-4-6 result, there are a pair of glasses here. Those are goggles, we call them. And when you come over to this chart here, the goggles, if you look at the goggles down here, on a 1-4, oh, is it 1-4-4 or 1-4-6? I'm sorry, I was looking at 1-4-4. 1-4-6, it's a flash check. It is a strikeout. You have to have a good eye to avoid it. And, of course, Viola doesn't have that. So that's what a little eyeball means. But it is a strikeout. So 3 shutout innings turned in by Charlton. Maybe the starting thing is to his liking because he has faced the minimum, faced 9, got out 9. So maybe that's his new calling. But we go to the fourth. Semi-freshness now for Viola and for Charlton. And it will be Charlton leading off. 1-4-5. He's not a struggling pitcher. It's a ground out to third base. Hojo makes the play, 1 away. For Chris Sabo is 0 for 2. He struck out twice, and he came into the game as a designated hot batter. 3-4-4. 3-4-4. Prospect pitcher, no, Viola's an icon. Is the batter patient? No, he's not patient. He will pop it up to second base for Tim Tuffle, and that's out number 2. So Viola appears to have settled down after that second inning. Seems to be back in a groove, but the problem is he's down by 4 runs. Here's Duncan, 4-5-5. Does he have flash? Semi-flash. The dot gives it to him. It'll be a strikeout. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Viola. And we go to the bottom of the fourth, still 4-0. Favor of the Reds. Charlton looking to go 5 innings so he can qualify for a win, and then they would bring in relief pitchers to try to finish the deal. Here's Carry On. 1-2-4. That's a control check, and he does not have the control quality. Is the batter eager? He is semi-eager. Decide or Die, though, says no, so he will draw a walk. So first base runner for the Mets, and it's Mark Carry On with a leadoff walk. It says active runner would steal, but he is semi-stoic, so he will not steal. But he is the first Mets base runner of the game. Here's Tim Tuffle. 2-2-6. Hit by pitch. No, the dot is not there, so it's no hit by pitch. He's not the cleanup batter. He will fly to left unless he's a whiffer. So we're going to need the dot to see if he's a whiffer or not. He is not, so it will not be a whiffer. It will just be a fly to left. He will not strike out. Just a fly to left. Hauled in by Rooms, 1 away, and here's Hojo. 1 long ball, and the Mets are right back in this game. 1-3-3, and I just talked about that. Well, if he's a slugger, it's a home run. He is a slugger. That is long, and that is gone. Look at it again on the replay, a 1-3-3. The pitcher is blank. It asks, is the batter a slugger? And certainly Hojo is a slugger. So that is gone, a 2-run shot for Hojo. And all of a sudden, it's a 4-2 game. Just that quickly, the Mets strike with Hojo. And Section 518 cheers. And so does all of Shea Stadium. Here's Darryl Strawberry. Speaking of home runs, he's a home run king. 2-4-6. Does the pitcher have control? No, he does not. Is he eager or a sad sack? No, he isn't. He's going to walk. Active runner would steal. He's not active, but he will draw the base on ball. So maybe Charlton might not make it 5 innings. Reds bullpen starting to stir a little bit more in earnest now with Charlton in unfamiliar territory. Here's McReynolds. 2-4-6. Same result we just had. Not controlled pitcher, eager or sad sack. Neither one. We got another walk. So Charlton has walked another one. Now the tying runs are on base. And the Reds may seriously be looking for a relief pitcher. They do have action in their bullpen. And it will be Kip Gross, the new guy that they haven't used yet. He's going to be in the bullpen. Loosening. He might be coming in very quickly. Mike Marshall is your batter. First and second, 1 out, 4-2 game. 4-5-6. Is he patient? He is not patient. He's eager. He's going to fly to center. That's out number 2. And we're going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat. That belongs to Barry Lyons. So we got chemistry chance, and it's neutral against harmonious for the Reds. That's a 2-4 on the chemistry check. Batting team harmony. No, they are not harmonious. It will not be a single. It will be outfield drama instead. So for the Reds in the outfield, everyone is neutral. We get a 2-6 on outfield drama. Center fielder stoic. Center fielder Hatcher is not stoic. Hatcher is actually semi-active. So it will not drop in front of him for a single. He'll make a running catch, and the inning's over. But the Mets do put 2 on the board thanks to the Howard Johnson 2-run home run. And at the end of 4 innings, it is 4-2 favor of the Reds. But their lead is cut in half. And now Larkin, Benziger, and Hatcher will come up to face Viola. And Viola has thrown 2 consecutive shutout innings, so looks like he's back in rhythm. Larkin is 1 for 2 with a single. 2-2-2. That triples are usually good for the hitter. Is he a sad sack? No, he's not. It's going to be a double to center field unless he's a home run king, which he is not. So it's just going to be a double for Barry Larkin. Leadoff double. But actually, Viola got off easy because anybody with power would have hit a home run on that 2-2. But Larkin will take the double. Here's Benziger. 1-4-5. 1-4-5. He's not a struggling pitcher. It's a ground out to third base with the switch hitter being right-handed. The ground out goes to third, so Larkin's got to stay. So Larkin has to freeze as Howard Johnson holds him right there. 1 out for Billy Hatcher. 1-4-6. Does he have flash? No, he does not. The dot is not there. It's a batter, a champion. No, he's not a champion. He will ground to second. That will get Larkin to third, but now there are 2 outs. So it's going to all be up to Paul O'Neill if the Reds are going to christen the scoreboard here in the 5th inning. 3-3-5. Pitcher wild. No, he's not. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he's not. He's going to single to right field, and he's going to steal a base. So how about that? So he singles Larkin in, and he will actually steal second base as well. So O'Neill's going to steal second after the single. Single and a stolen base. And the Reds take a 5-2 lead. Stadium stop cheering. Here's Rolando Rooms. He is struck out and hit into a double play. Not very good. 2-2-4. Pitching at home. Yes, they are. So Viola does get the home cooking, so it's a pop out to short to end the inning. But the Reds do pick up a run. And that's going to be it for Viola because he's scheduled to bat second next inning. So that'll be it for Viola. His day is done. So Viola, not the best outing in the world that they were looking for, that's for sure. He's going to go 5 innings. He is going to give up 5 runs. 3 of them are earned. How many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got him for 8 hits unofficial. Walks, I've got him looking like he's walking 2. And strikeouts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got him for 5 strikeouts. So that's the line I have on Viola. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, 2 walk, 5 strikeouts. And with him scheduled second this inning, they will pinch hit for Mr. Viola. And we'll look at their pinch hitting bench. They have the following. They have Mackie Sasser. They have Dave Magadan. Both those are left-handed, obviously. Darrell Boston, another lefty. They do have Greg Jeffries, a switch hitter, and they also have Darren Reed. Never really heard of him, but he's a right-handed hitting outfielder with minimal at-bats, which is why I had to create him. So it just makes sense for me to use Greg Jeffries in the pinch hitting role. So it'll be Elster and then Jeffries. And that way, if it gets it down to Tuffle, we could double switch and put Jeffries at second and put the pitcher in Tuffle's spot. So there's all kinds of possibilities to do that. Reds are going to try to get Charlton through this inning because he would qualify for the win, but he's got to do it first. Here's Elster. 1-1-3. Ace or dynamic. He is a semi-ace. Dot gives it to him, so it's a ground out to first. Benziger will take it to the bag himself, 1 away, and here comes the pinch hitter, Jeffries. He will pinch hit here in the 5th inning against Charlton. 2-5-6 is the pitcher struggle. No, champion or patient. He is neither one. So we have infield drama for the Reds. Semi-iron, Mariano Duncan. Now they're both all neutral. 1-4. First baseman iron, no. Benziger is not iron, so he makes an easy play on a ground out and actually flip to. I'll use the old Stratomatic rule in the X chart where he flips to the first baseman for the out. So he flips to the pitcher rather for the out. So 3-1 on the put out if you're scoring at home. And here's carry on. 3-5-5. Pitcher's not a struggler. Is he a champion? No, he's not a champion. He will ground to second, and that will end the inning. So that's going to do it for Charlton. He's going to go 5 innings and qualify for this win. His day is done because he's coming up to his batting spot's coming up shortly. So we didn't make it to Tuffles at bat, so we're not going to have a double switch. We're just going to have a regular substitution for a pitcher for the Mets, and we'll see who they want to bring in. These are their choices. They have Bob Ojeda, Julio Machado, Jeff Musselman, of course, a closer Franco, Wally Whitehurst, or Alejandro Pena. And RJL, if you are watching, I will let you choose who you wish, or else I'll do it myself. It's Oliver, a pinch hitter, and Sabo. So 2 righties and probably a left-handed pinch hitter. So I'm leaning toward a right-hander, maybe Machado or Whitehurst. But if you have a particular favorite you like to see, Pena, Whitehurst, Machado, those are the 3 right-handers they have. I'm not sure if you're at work. Oh, you want to go with Machado? Okay, we will do that. Wanted to give you the opportunity. So Julio Machado going to come in. He's a star with flash. And since he's coming in to start an inning, you don't get that ace boost. That's only when you come middle inning. So Machado will come on, and he's just going to be a star and flash. There's nothing wrong with those qualities whatsoever. It'll be Oliver, a pinch hitter for Charlton. And then Sabo. So for the Reds, let's see who the pinch hitter might be. We're looking at a left-handed pinch hitter. It's probably going to be Herm Winningham, I'm guessing. Well, they might go with somebody they haven't used in a while. They're going to go with Luis Quinones just to get him an at-bat because he hasn't had many at-bats. So it'll be Oliver, Quinones, and Sabo for the Reds. So Luis Quinones will pinch hit here in the 5th. And the new pitcher will be Kip Gross for the Reds in the bottom or the top of the 6th, rather. Or bottom of the 6th, I should say. All right, so Machado will face Joe Oliver to start the inning. 5-2 Reds here in the top of the 6th. It's a 2-4-5, and it's asking, is the batter a hero? No, he's not a hero. He will pop to second. That is out number 1. We would go to the experience chart, but the pinch hitter is going to override that. So we will stay on the regular chart for Luis Quinones in his pinch hitting appearance. And on the replay, pull out the stats again. Just had them a second ago. Oh, there they are. Let's see what. I don't think Quinones has had a lot of at-bats, which is why I want to get him an at-bat, just to be fair. Quinones has only had 4 at-bats. He's 0 for 4. Does have an RBI, but he's 0 for 4. So this is his 5th at-bat, looking for his first hit of the season. 3-4-5, asking if we have an iron catcher, and we do. Barry Lyons is an iron catcher. So that's going to be a walk. So Quinones will draw the walk because of the fact that we have the iron catcher in Barry Lyons. So how about that? How about that? Quinones will draw the free pass. But they're going to have Herm Winningham run for him because Winningham is a much better runner. Quinones is semi-stoic. So we'll walk, and then we're going to have a pinch runner, Herm Winningham. He will pinch run. And Winningham is semi-active. That's why he's out there to pinch run. So Winningham is your pinch runner. Chris Sabo is your batter. 1 out, and Winningham at first base for Chris Sabo. 4-6-6. Does he have the control quality? He does not. Is the batter a home run king or a slugger? He is a slugger, so he's going to strike out. Sabo out on strikes. That's the hat trick for Sabo. He struck out 3 times. So I tell you what, you'd be hot one game, he's going to be the cold batter next game. It's the way it goes. And here's Duncan. 2 outs and Winningham at first. 1-5-5 for Duncan. Is he a home run king? No, he's not. So he's going to fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So Machado, a scoreless sixth inning. And we go to the bottom of the sixth, and we will get the new pitcher for the Reds. No double switch because the pitcher spot is a long way off. So there won't be any double switches, but we will have, in place of Charlton, we will have Kip Gross coming on for his season debut. Now, Charlton's going to go 5 innings, give up 2 runs. They were earned. Let's see how many hits he gave up. He only gave up 1 hit. That was the home run for Johnson. It's the only hit he gave up. Of course, the walk preceded it. He did walk 3 all in the same inning. All in that 4th inning, he walked 3 batters. And let's see, strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts for Charlton. So Charlton, 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and Gross is now your new pitcher. Kip Gross. Right-hander. He's a semi-workman, flash, and semi-control based on what I rated him with the ratings guide. So that's what we're going to go with. He's a stoic and a prospect pitcher. He'll be facing Tuffle, Johnson, and Strawberry here in the bottom of the 6th with this 5-2 score. 166. Is he a workman? Yes, he is. The dot says he is, so that's a single to left field for Tim Tuffle. And the result is in red. We're going to the experience chart for the next at bat. And Johnson's an icon. Gross is prospect. Vantage Mets. It's a 3-4 on the experience chart. Prospect batter. No, he's not a prospect batter. He would strike out if he was. Otherwise, nubber up the first baseline runner advances. So Johnson nubs it to first. Benzinger's only play is to take it to the bag, and Tuffle will advance to second base. But had he been a prospect batter, he would have struck out. So at least he advanced the runner by not being a prospect batter. Here's Strawberry. He has struck out and walked. 1-1-2. Does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does. It's a strikeout. So he strikes out Strawberry again, 2 down. And here's McReynolds. Clutch situation for McReynolds. 2-3-4. Runners on base. Yes, we have plate drama. Oliver is neutral as a catcher. It's a blank on the dot, so if it asks for control, he does not have it. 2-6 on the plate drama. 2-6 for plate drama. Catcher iron. No, he's not iron. It's going to be a strike, and we're going to the umpire chart with a runner at second base. So runner at second base, and we go to the umpire chart with a runner at second base. Umpire chart. 4-5. Strict umpire at first. The first base umpire is Ed Montague. He is semi-strict, but the dot says no, so Montague is not strict this at bat. Strict umpire first. Batter out first despite late throw if he was strict. Otherwise, umpire calls batter safe, runners hold. Runner holds, I should say. It's weird that the runner would hold. That really doesn't make any sense, but that's what the book says. So, but he would never hold, so he's going to go to third. That just doesn't make sense that he would hold. With 2 outs, he's running on contact, so he's going to go. No reason to hold. So it's a single. We're going to call it a single for McReynolds. Going to third is Tuffle. And now runners on the corners with 2 outs for Mike Marshall. Chance for Marshall to make up for some of those bad fielding plays. 1 swing of the bat can tie the score. And all would be forgiven in Met world. He is a slugger. 2-2-6. Is he hit by the pitch? No, the dot's not there. Is he the cleanup batter? No, he's not the cleanup batter. He is the 6th position batter. So he's going to fly to left unless he's a whiffer, and he is a whiffer, so he's going to strike out to end the inning. And Marshall leaves 2 on base, so he's really having a rough game. Mike Marshall. Not his best outing for sure. And we go to the 7th inning. Machado will now be semi-fresh as he's in his 2nd inning of work. Barry Larkin is your batter. It'll be Larkin, Benziger, and Hatcher due up for the Reds. So Machado to Larkin. 1-3-3. Is he a slugger? No, he's a semi-scrapper, so he will fly to the left. That's the same result Johnson got the home run on, but he's not a slugger. So Larkin, being a semi-scrapper, just flies to left. Here's Benziger. 1-1-6. Is he fresh? Yes, the dot gives him the freshness. So that is a strikeout. So quickly 2 outs, and here's Billy Hatcher. Billy Hatcher. One, two, three, flash and fresh. Yes, because he gets the freshness to the dot. He's already got flash, so that's a strikeout. So Machado goes 2 solid and takes care of the Reds for 2 innings. We've got the 7th inning stretch upon us with score Cincinnati 5 and the Mets 2. All right. 7th inning stretch is in the books. Kip Gross out for his 2nd inning of work. It'll be Lyons, Elster, and a pinch hitter for Machado. We'll do the numbers on Machado. He went 2 innings, pitched very well, struck out 3, gave up nothing, no hits. He did walk a batter. That was about his only ding. But he pitched very, very well. So the Mets will now use a left-handed pinch hitter with Gross in the game. So they've got Boston, Magadan, Sasser, or O'Malley. So RJL, if you're watching again, you get to choose. Sorry about that. But you get to choose who you want as your pinch hitter after Lyons and Elster. Or you could wait and see who's on base or whatever. I don't know. But you can mull it over, I guess. Boston, Magadan, Sasser, or O'Malley. Your choice. Or if you're busy doing something else and not watching, then I'll just pick one. Right now, Barry Lyons. But we are in the 7th inning, so we could pinch hit for Lyons, if you like, with Mackey Sasser. Let's see what Lyons has done. He's 0 for 2, but I think we're going to pinch hit for Lyons here. That's good to know, Tom. I did not know the transaction history on that. So we're going to pinch hit. Since we're in the 7th inning, we're going to pinch hit Mickey Sasser for Lyons, and Sasser will stay in the game to catch. Sasser is surprisingly not iron. He is stoic, but he's not iron. So they lose the iron catcher part doing that. But Sasser, now that a right-hander's on the mound, they will pinch hit with Sasser. He will lead off the inning, bottom of the 7th, 5-2 Reds. Gross is now semi-fresh, 1-5-6. Is the batter a whiffer? No, he's not. He's actually a good eye. Let's see. Barry Lyons would have been a whiffer. He would have struck out, but instead we got outfield drama, and everybody's neutral in the outfield. 5-6 for outfield drama. Left fielder iron? No. McReynolds is not iron, so Rooms is not iron, so the catch is made. And Sasser is out of there, 1 away. But he will stay in the game to catch. Here is Elster, and it looks like picking up a bat to hit will be Magadan, unless I hear different from RJL. We're going to go with Magadan. All right, here's Elster. 135, and that's a ballpark check because we're at the unusual play, and a black one means we're going to the ballpark. And their Met Stadium, Shea Stadium, plays neutral to both left and right-handers. So we go to our stadium chart in the book. It's right there in front of the umpire chart. It is the stadium chart right here in the black. These are the ballpark qualities. It's a neutral ballpark. That's a 1-3 small ballpark. If it was a small ballpark, foul ball in the first base, bleachers batter still a batter. Otherwise, first baseman makes the catch on a foul out. So there was enough foul territory at Shea Stadium that Benziger had room to make the catch on Elster. So he fouls out to Benziger for out number 2. And now we have the pinch hitter coming up. And it looks like it's going to be Magadan as far as I can tell. Unless they want to go someplace else. Could go with Darryl Boston, maybe. Hard to, with 2 outs and the base is empty, though, they may go with O'Malley. I'm going to go with O'Malley because he's got the slugger quality and he's not as good of a hitter. And you really want to save your better hitters for maybe the bottom of the ninth when you got a clutch situation going on. So we're going to save Boston and Magadan for a more critical situation. But with nobody on base and 2 outs, probably makes more sense to use O'Malley. So O'Malley will pinch hit. They're still going to have Boston and still going to have Magadan available in the 9th inning to pinch hit if they like. So right now O'Malley is coming up with 2 outs and the base is empty. That's a 1-1-4. It's asking, is the pitcher fresh? And he gets the dot, so he is fresh. And since he is fresh, it's going to be a ground ball to short. And that's going to end the inning. So good thing we didn't use one of the better pinch hitters. We saved those for later on. But 2 innings of shutout relief for Kip Gross in his season debut. Very impressive for Kip Gross. And we'll get a new pitcher for the Mets as we go to the top of the 8th with a 5-2 score. Kip Gross might be looking to get 3 innings in. We'll see. Might have to cap him I think we might just cap him at 2, though. So it's going to be 2 innings pitched for Kip Gross. And he gives up 2 singles. So 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. So very impressive. But now he's going to set it all up for the for the Reds bullpen to close it out with a save, perhaps. So for the Mets, their bullpen, they will go with O'Neill, Rooms, and Oliver. It's a lefty and 2 righties. So they're going to go to Wally Whitehurst. Hey, RJL, who did you want to bring in the 8th inning? Lefty and 2 righties. So the righties that are available are Machado, Pena, and Whitehurst. So I'm not sure if you want to bring in one of those or a lefty, but it's a lefty O'Neill followed by 2 righties. I was thinking Whitehurst, but you can bring in keep in mind they're down 5-2, so whoever you don't use will be fresh for tomorrow. So I don't know if you want to use maybe the guy that you think is the least best or whatever you want to do. I'll go either way. I'm good either. Any of these guys are fine by me. They're both actually, all 3 are actually pretty good pitchers. Going with Wally Whitehurst. So Whitehurst, and he's going to be looking to finish out the game. So they like to get 2 innings out of Whitehurst if possible. If he can do what Machado did, they'll be very happy. So it's a 5-2 game here in the top of the 8th. And it will be O'Neill, Rooms, and Oliver due up for the Reds here in the top of the 8th with a 5-2 ball game. And that's going to be all for Gross. So we'll figure out who the Reds are going to use. Might go to Leana. Let's see. Right now, it's the Reds batting, 1-4-5. Struggling pitcher? No, he's not. So it's going to be a ground ball to first, and that's 1 away as Marshall takes it to the bag himself. This one he does not bungle. He makes the play. 1 down, and here comes Orlando Rooms. 1-4-5, same result. He's not a struggler. So this time with the right-handed hitter up, it's a ground ball to third. So 2 down for Joe Oliver, catcher. That's a 2-2-2. That's problematic Is he a sad sack? No, he's not. It's going to be a double for Joe Oliver. So Joe Oliver with those triple twos will get a double. But again, not having the power saves him of a home run. And now with the pitcher spot coming up in Gross, they will pinch hit, will the Reds. And they will go to another left-handed pinch hitter off the bench, and it will be Hal Morris. So Hal Morris is in to pinch hit for Cincinnati. A very good hitter, but on the season replay, he has struggled. He's only 2 for 16. No homers and 1 RBI, hitting a $125, but he's in a clutch situation here. Morris could give him a base hit that could produce an insurance run. Sabo is on deck. He's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, but he's dangerous, so they're going to go ahead and pitch to Morris with first base open. Whoa, Suadice. Let's re-roll that. 3-4-6. 3-4-6. The pitcher is blank. Is the batter eager? He is semi-eager. The dot says he's eager, so he will fly to center. He will not walk. And that's going to end the inning. So Morris fails in the pinch. Whitehurst comes through. Reds come away empty-handed. Score remains 5-2. And the new Reds pitcher is going to be Tim Layana, right-hander. They're looking to have him pitch the 8th and then have Randy Myers pitch the 9th. So Layana coming on, right-hander, and he'll be facing Carrion, Tuffle, and Johnson. Due up for the Mets here in the bottom of the 8th of a 5-2 game. Layana firing to Carrion. 2-4-6. Does he have the control quality? Layana does not. Is the batter eager or a sad sack? He is semi-eager. The dot says he is, so he will pop it to third. He will not walk. He was too eager, couldn't wait out the walk, and he ends up popping up to Sabo for 1 away. Here's Tuffle. That's a 2-2-5. Is the pitcher a star? He's a semi-star, but the dot doesn't give it to him. Slugger or sad sack? He is a semi-slugger, so we got to see if he's going to be a slugger this at bat. He is not. So he will not pop to right. Instead, he will single. So it's a single for Tuffle. Active runner would steal, but he's stoic, so he will hold at first base. And that'll bring up Hojo. Hojo had the 2-run homer back in the 4th. One swing of the bat gets the Mets right back in this ball game. That's a 2-4-4. Is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not an ace. Is the batter a champion? Johnson's not a champion. He will ground to short unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. The dot says he is, so he will strike out. Or out number 2. Would have been a fielder's choice had he grounded out to short, but instead he strikes out. So it's up to Strawberry. That's a 1-4-6. Does he have flash? Yes, he does. The sire die says he does. Strawberry will take the hat trick himself. He strikes out to end the inning. So we go to the 9th. Score still 5-2. And if the Reds do not score any more runs, it will be a save situation, and they will be turning it over to Randy Myers. If they do score some more, then they probably let Layana stay in the game. But for now, Whitehurst will stay in the game to pitch the 9th. Facing Chris Sabo, he's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Can he get the golden sombrero? Question. 3-3-6. Ace or dynamic? He is neither one. Sad sack, utility, or patient? None of that. So it's a base hit for Chris Sabo. So he finally gets on the board with a base hit, and that results in Reds. So we're going to the experience chart for the at-bat of Mariano Duncan. Whitehurst is a semi-prospect. Duncan is neutral on the experience chart. And now he is a full prospect. So 2-6 on the experience chart. Says icon pitcher. No, he's not an icon pitcher, so he doesn't strike him out. Otherwise, it's a batter drops a single over second base. So base hit over second for Duncan. And that'll put runners at first and second with nobody out. And here comes Barry Larkin. Larkin is the batter. 1-3-4. Gold catcher, no. Sasser's neutral. Is the batter a champion? No, he's not a champion. So we have outfield drama for the Mets. And in their outfield, Strawberry is gold. Everybody else is neutral. 1-4 in outfield drama. Right fielder gold. Yes, he is. It's going to be a fly out. So not going to be a single. It'll be a fly out to right for out number 1. And that results in purple. So we are going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat. And that at bat belongs to Benziger. With 1 out, and the chemistry chart, it is neutral against. Well, let's see. You know what they're going to do? Mets are going to make a pitching change. So we're not going to go to the chemistry chart. The Mets don't want to go to the chemistry chart because it's bad news for them. So they're going to bring on Jeff Musselman, a lefty reliever, and that's going to force Benziger to bat right-handed, and he will be an ace on this at bat, and it takes it away from the chemistry chart. So Whitehurst is going to go 1 1/3 innings. He's going to give up 3 hits. Can't tell about the runs because the runners on base are his responsibility. No walks, no strikeouts. But coming on is Musselman. And like I said, he is an ace this at bat. And we will be off the regular chart, not the chemistry chart. So Benziger against Musselman. 5-6-6. Is he wild? No. Is his batter have a good eye? No, he does not. So it's a strikeout. Strikeout by Musselman for out number 2. And if we're going to it's in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for the Billy Hatcher at bat. Hatcher is cold because he struck out his last time up. And Musselman is hot. So we got a hot pitcher against a cold batter. And that's 2-2 right now. Cold pitcher. No, he's not a cold pitcher. Will not be a fence check. Instead, it's a line out to third. So Musselman gets out of the jam to get Whitehurst off the hook with no runs allowed. Keeps the score at 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. And coming in for the Reds will be Randy Myers to try to close the deal. Liana's going to go 1 inning. And he's going to give up a single, nothing else, and he struck out 2. But now Randy Myers is coming on to pitch. And on the replay, Randy Myers is 1-0 with an ERA of 0, 5 saves, 7 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 7 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So the walks are a little bit of a problem, but let's see if he can't show some control in this game. 5-2, bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Mets. It'll be McReynolds, Marshall, and Sasser. 4-4-6. 4-4-6. Is he a star? No, he's an ace, not a star. Sack, utility, or patient? None of those. So it's a single to right field for Mr. McReynolds to lead off the inning. So McReynolds gets the Mets off to a good start, and that results in red. So we're going to the experience chart. Marshall's an icon. Myers is a semi-icon. And now Marshall is icon. Myers is neutral on the experience. 2-2. Prospect pitcher. No, he's not a prospect pitcher. It would have been a fence check if he was. Otherwise, it's popped out right to Myers. Little humpback liner right to Myers, and Marshall is out of there. Boy, talk about having a bad day. He's had a bad day. All right, here's Sasser. And normally you want to pinch hit for Sasser because it's lefty against lefty, but he's the only there are no other catchers, so they're stuck using Sasser. And plus in this game, unless you roll a 3-5-6, the left-right splits don't come into play. So they're going to keep Sasser in there. 3-4-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is the batter eager? No. Yes, he is. He's semi-eager. Doc gives it to him, so he won't walk. He will fly to center field. And Sasser flies out. Now it's down to Elster. Kevin Elster, he is 0 for 3. Don't know who the Mets have. Let's see who the Mets have still on the bench. Darren Reed, who I don't know much about. Boston and Magadan. Magadan is on deck to pinch hit for the pitcher, Musselman. So what do you do here? Do you pinch hit with Boston? But then you have nobody else to play shortstop, so they're going to have to stick with Elster and hope he gets on and gets it over to Magadan, who is on deck to pinch hit if Elster can keep the game going. 1-1-6. Is he fresh? Yes, we're in the first inning. It's a strikeout, and the ball game is over. Cincinnati Reds. This one belongs to the Reds, 5-2. And the save belongs to Randy Myers. That'll be his 6th save. Charlton gets the win. The loss goes to Viola. Let's see, Musselman pitched 2/3 of an inning. Got a strikeout, nothing else. So for the Mets, let's see, Myers 1 inning pitched and a hit and a strikeout. So for the Mets, they end up with 2 runs on 5 hits. The Reds, 5 runs, 11 hits. Check for error. There was an E5 on Hojo. So I know the Mets had an error. Reds did not commit an error. Left on base. Reds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left on for Cincinnati. For the Mets, they left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left on for the Mets. So sorry, Mr. RJL, your Mets came up short in this one. They do have El Cid going in game 2 against Jack Armstrong, so it's a chance to even the series and get a split. But the Reds win it, and they proved to 13-5, their 3rd win in a row for Cincinnati after losing 2 in a row to the Expos. They've come back and won 2 in a row against the Phillies, and now taking the first game on this road trip from the Mets by the final score of 5-2. 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and 9 left for Cincinnati. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 6 left for the Mets. Winning pitcher Norm Charlton, and Charlton's record with the win now improves to 1-1, and Randy Myers gets his 6th save of the season. Like I said, Jack Armstrong against Sid Fernandez in game 2 of the series. I will play that and record it while I've got all the stuff sitting here. I'll go ahead and play it, record it, and upload it sometime during the week. Tonight at some point, I don't know what time, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that, will be Stratomatic. As we start the April 29th block, it will be the Cleveland Indians hosting the Chicago White Sox. Rich Dotson against Greg Swindell in 1987 American League replay, Super Advanced Stratomatic style. Oh, Tom, I didn't realize that you were Hardwood Heaven. That's fine by me. Just happy you were here to take in the ball game. And like I said, RJL, tough one for your Mets, but hey, you can't win them all, as they say. Tough luck that second inning did Viola in. That Howard Johnson error, the fielding in the second inning was terrible. Mike Marshall made 2 bad plays that allowed base hits, and then Hojo threw the ball away for another error, and just not enough time to recover. A 2-run home run from Hojo in the 4th, cut it to 4-2, but then the Reds got a double from Larkin to lead off the inning, and then a single from O'Neill to drive him home to make it 5-2, and the bullpens took care of it on both sides the rest of the way. So this one does belong to the Reds. They improved to 13-5 through 18 games. And game 19, like I said, will be Sid Fernandez for the Mets against Jack Armstrong for the Reds. And then after this quick 2-game series in New York, the Reds will hop a charter and go to St. Louis and take on those St. Louis Cardinals for a 4-game road series with St. Louis. Some kind of crazy scheduling. They play 2 here, but they play 4 in St. Louis and then only 2 in Pittsburgh. So usually have 3-game series, but this, for whatever reason, these are 2 and 4-game series. So just a little bit quirk in the schedule. But that's going to do it from here. Like I said, hope you all enjoyed that presentation of History Maker Baseball. I know it's a unique game for those that aren't that used to it and maybe, are more used to the traditional games like APA and Strat. But this certainly has its place in my affections. And it's good variety as well, because sometimes you see the same games all the time, and you like to have a little bit of variety. So let's go do it from here. Hope you all are going to have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy watching other channels like RJL put his game out. I'm sure he's got a game tonight in the 1983 replay. And of course, Al Red Sox fan, Utah Mike. I'm sure I'm missing quite a few, but that's just a few right off the top of my head I can think of. Jeffrey Guterman's another one. Spokane Steve. A lot of guys out there putting out good content on cards and dice. And of course, you got guys like Beatles Eternally doing on the computer. So be sure to check them out. And I did see something on, I think it was a note on YouTube that Dave Gardner put out about his dog. And I definitely feel for him, because I went through the same thing back in May with my dog that I had for 17 years. So I kind of got an idea of what he's going through. If you want to send him a quick note of condolence or encouragement, I mean, it may not do a whole lot of good. I know in my situation, the words were nice, but I still felt the way I felt until, Kurt Berglund, you're correct. I forgot all about Kurt Berglund. Absolutely. But yeah, when you go through something like that, especially if you're really attached to an animal, it almost sounds sacrilegious to say it's the same as losing a person, but it's almost the same as losing a family member. So especially if you're really attached to him. So I kind of know what he's going through. I don't know exactly what he's going through, obviously, but I kind of know what he's going through, because I went through the same thing with Gracie. So if you see him online or in Facebook group or whatever, Digital Dice, whatever the case may be, send him a little encouragement, and tell him you feel for his loss and things like that, because even though it doesn't really help necessarily, the kind words do make it just a tiny bit better. But for me, if he's like me, it's going to take time. It's a matter of time. You never get over it, but you do over time. You go from necessarily being super sad to in a remembering stage, and you remember the good times and things like that. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. And so let's go do it from here. Mets fall to the Reds 5-2. Winning pitcher Norm Charlton, and if you missed it earlier, Charlton had an emergency start because Tom Browning was injured in the warm-up session and could not go. So Norm Charlton, who was struggling as a reliever, came in and pitched 5 innings and got the win. So, and then the bullpen combination of Gross, Leana, and Myers shut out the Mets to the final 4 innings and got it done. So they were able to rest Rob Dibble and left-hander reliever Bertzes. So they have 2 fresh arms for the second game. And of course, Myers only pitched 1 inning, so he certainly could come back and pitch again. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.